Hey everybody, this is Wes from the Console Gaming Crew podcast, and we want to proudly say that we are a part of the Boss Rush Network at bossrush.net. BossRush.net is a place where you can find up-to-date news articles, blogs, and podcasts about video games. In addition to that, there is a growing collection of podcasts, not just in the gaming community, but other communities as well. We are honored to be a part of such a great network of podcasters and content creators. So please stop by and give everyone a listen at bossrush.net. Thank you, and enjoy the show. Yo, crew members, what it be?
45, 47. Sorry. All About the Benjamins is in my head because it's been on like all week, and I've watched it like 3 times this week. But anyway, what's going on, brother?
I'm about to say, you ain't gonna give people your normal thing, but all right. We'll play it that way. First and foremost, happy belated birthday, my brother. I hope it was good for you. I hope it was good.
Thank you. It absolutely was good, man. I started the day off going to the hockey store.
Yes.
Yep. Went to Pure Hockey and came home with a haul. Let's put it that way. Because I got my season starting up in, what is today? In 8 days.
You're going back.
Yep.
You're
Finally
going back.
Yep. Said I wasn't going back until my little boy could be fully vaxxed up, which he is. So there's no time like the present, but there's a lot of stuff that I needed because the last season that I played there, my brand new stick that I just got before the beginning of that season got cracked in half on a face-off. So I needed a new stick. I got that. But you know how awesome my wife is. She wasn't going to leave until I got everything that was necessary or everything that she deemed necessary.
That is true.
So I came home with a stick, tape, new pants, a regulation size net with magnetic targets.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
I got to make my way over.
Absolutely. We'll go out in the street because we can go out in the street and you can bring whatever stick you want because she also got me the those like snap together ice tiles.
Oh,
so like
sweet.
that feel like it.
Yes.
Dude, you step on them with shoes and they're slick. So
I love it.
I got some of those so that way I can use. I was actually like an hour ago. I was outside shooting around in the street because I can use my stick for the league out there because I don't have to worry about getting it all scratched and muffed up.
Yeah.
And
we were at E-Kohler today, E-Kohler Park. And you know the spot where they have like for the hockey.
I do.
So somebody made up one of those like goalie type of things on plywood,
like the Mylock.
Yeah. Into which you had the corners cut out and shit like that. Yeah. So I'm like, oh shit, like I'm about to bring my fucking stick and shit over there next time we take the kids.
Absolutely, man. You should. She also, I haven't put it together yet, but she also got me one of the big backstops to go behind the net.
Smart.
So,
very smart.
Yeah, don't bust out someone's windows or something because, you know, pucks
I'm going to be spending more time at your place.
So, that dude, come on over anytime. So, yeah, did that. And, you know, she made dinner and just hung out with the family. It was a good time. It was a good time.
Nice.
Yeah, and then, was that last week?
Yeah, that was last week.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I missed 2 weeks.
No, we had my week. You know what I mean? That I was off.
No. But then I forgot we had the week where we had my niece Harper was over.
Yes.
And then it was my birthday. So
yes.
But here now, and what a perfect time because we kind of, in a way, have 2 episodes in one, or we'll say an episode and a half.
Yes. So, like I told everybody last week, I had all of the stuff for the new games, but there was no information out at that time for free. Now, being the 3rd of September, which is when we're recording, we have all that information for the free games for both Xbox and PlayStation. So, Andy, do you want to go ahead and start it off?
Yeah, let's start it off. So, the new games with gold for September of 22 for Xbox. It is time to announce these titles, and you will battle to find out if gods will fall. Rock the post-apocalyptic freeway and double kick heroes, and for classic lineup via backwards compatibility, which I believe ends fairly soon. Design your own amusement park in Thrillville and twist the laws of physics in mind-bending classic Portal 2. So let's start with Gods Will Fall.
Guess what I'm doing tonight?
Playing Portal 2.
Dude, that is easily one of my favorite games of all time.
I've never played a single Portal game.
I never played the first one, but the second one is like by far, like easily, like one of the best just simple video game physics type games I have ever played in my life. Because dude, all it is physics.
Well, I may have to check it out then.
I don't think you have a choice.
I've seen it a bunch. I've just never actually played it myself.
You don't have a choice.
But anyway, so let's start with Gods Will Fall, available September 1st to the 30th. Take up the battle against the very deities themselves in this brutal action-adventure epic. The gods have lorded over the world for millennia, ruling with a cruel iron fist that demands unquestioning fealty. You and your fellow Celtic warriors are at the very last chance for humanity. Grab your mace, test your spear, and sharpen your axe to battle horrific beasts and minions that dwell in the hellish lands of each god. Your decisions can make you a legend, or you can be dust. That actually sounds really dope.
Or you can be dust.
I don't plan on being dust.
I just love that.
Moving right along into Double Kick Heroes, available September 16th to October 15th. The pure power of metal compels you. Travel the post-apocalyptic freeways battling zombies and militia in your tricked-out Cadillac, the Gundalac. It's a wild game that combos a shoot-'em-up with a rhythm game. Bang your head with your band through 30 levels of madness and heavy metal.
Fuck yeah.
Let's go.
I got to tell Alex about that one.
Absolutely.
Get him on that.
And moving on to Thrillville, available September 1st to the 15th. In Thrillville, summer doesn't have to ever end when you get to build your own amusement park. You get to do everything from design roller coasters to go-karts, play mini golf on your own courses, and join friends for party games. Make sure to check in with guests to ensure they are loving your theme park as much as you are, and make adjustments to keep them happy. It is a non-stop fun in the virtual sun. Sounds pretty much like your, cookie cutter builder, so to speak, Roller Coaster Tycoon, Sim Town, Sim Park, all that shit, which are always fun, to be completely honest with you.
Like tycoon shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Wes's favorite, available September 16th to the 30th, we have Portal 2. One of the all-time classics is available for you to teleport into problem-solving mode. Use your wits over weapons in this sci-fi puzzler. In addition to portals, use tractor beams, lasers, light bridges, and more. You wouldn't get it anyway. Damn it. You've never seen Austin Powers. So like my inner Austin Powers fan wanted to say, in addition to portals, you use tractor beams, which anyone else would get.
And they will and they'll laugh, and good for them.
So in addition to portals, use tractor beams, lasers, light bridges, and more, with humorous new characters voiced by the likes of, is it Stephen Merchant? Probably. Or Stephen. Stephen Merchant. We'll go with Stephen. And J.K. Simmons, who I love. The story and humor is as much a joy as the problem solving. Play single player or co-op to start bending the rules of physics. That is Portal 2, available September 16th to the 30th via backwards compatibility, along with Thrillville, available September 1st to the 15th. And then Gods Will Fall, available 1st to the 30th of September, and Double Kick Heroes. There's always that weird one that they have that goes into October. That is Double Kick Heroes, available September 16th to October 15th. And now Wes is going to hit you with that Sony good.
Yo, everybody, guess what? I'm here with PlayStation for the free games that you're going to get with the PlayStation Plus. So the games you are going to get, I do not have like a detailed run-up of everything like Andy does, but I will go ahead and let you know the games that will be coming out. So the games that we have are going to be Need for Speed Heat, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus, and Toem is going to be coming out for the PS5. The other two games are going to be for the PS4. They are going to drop on September 6th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time, 7 a.m. Pacific Time. Central Eastern Time is 4 p.m. I'm not entirely sure. I'm guessing it's just 10 a.m., but then just our time, just everywhere else. You know what I mean? It's one of those weird things. Please remember that you need to wait for the game to be listed as free. So if the game shows a price, that means that you will be charged for it. You don't want that happening. Trust me. So yeah, man, they are going to be going from September 6th until October 3rd. And again, these games are Need for Speed Heat for the PS4, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus for the PS4, and Toem, which is going to be for the PS5. I also want to make a quick update, or I need to correct myself. So during the new episode, last week's episode, I said 8, and then I said the Roman numeral XIII like an absolute idiot. So
You mean you want
13.
13?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. 13 is what I meant. So yeah, gotta love this dummy that's looking right here.
It's all right. So that is the free and new, huh?
Well, just the free.
You did the new last week. That is the free for Xbox and PlayStation for the month of September.
So we're going from games that you can play to games you can't find.
Yes, and what Wes means by that is right here we have some huge video games that are banned around the world. And I figure we could just go back and forth. Can I take the first one?
Yeah, but real quick. So I do want to go ahead and just talk about. So for the United States, nothing necessarily has ever been actually banned. So we have the ESRB, which is the Entertainment Software Rating Board.
Yes.
And it's self-regulated. It's a self-regulated organization, and they essentially give the ratings out for video games. And we all just go, okay, fine. Then it's M for mature, E for everyone, whatever. The main reason we have this thing is because of the Supreme Court ruling of Brown versus Entertainment Merchants Association, which was in 2011. So California sued to go ahead and say that if you try to stop a game being sold because it's a violent game, you are disrupting First Amendment rights. So, and the Supreme Court actually essentially agreed with that. So there is no federal or state law that can be regulated to stop the distribution based on the content of the game.
Okay.
Now, what it has been, and I keep on interrupting you, I do apologize.
No, you're fine.
What it has been is companies have recalled numerous games.
That's what I'm thinking.
And that's what you're thinking.
Because the second you thought that, I was like, I can think of one game specifically that I thought was pulled even here.
So some of the games that a lot of people would know that have been pulled in the U.S. has been like the Guy game, which actually had a nude model who was underage at the time of recording.
Jesus Christ.
So
is Manhunt on that list? Because that's the game I'm thinking of.
Manhunt isn't on this particular list, but I do have another list that it is on.
Okay.
But
right.
but that stuff kind of sits more of like an adults only type of shit, because there's certain things with that there was like adults only type stuff, in which like Thrill Kill, which is a game that has extreme violence and strong sexual themes. You have Custer's Revenge, which has actually been banned in Oklahoma City.
Wasn't that game for Atari?
Dude, yes, I think it was, but holy Christ, yo, it looks fucked up. Just
I've seen it.
Yeah, like yo, I'm looking at it right now. Like it's stupid.
I was reading the title of a game that led me to not even want to look at any images from the game, and I believe it was a game called Rayplay.
Yes, I have that one here too.
What the fuck are people thinking?
So the whole thing with Rayplay. So
everything, probably.
Yeah, dude. No, it's all fucked up. So it is banned in multiple countries. So yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and just jump straight into it, I guess. So it's banned. It is illegal to sell this game, Rayplay, in Argentina, Indonesia, and New Zealand. Here in the States, it has received an adult-only rating, which means that most retailers would not stock it, but they can sell it online. And that's the reason why you can get away with a bunch of Steam games the way they are. You mean, because, dude, there are a bunch of hentai, like just real absurd sexual themed games on Steam, but they're allowed to have them on there because they are an AO, adults only rating, and they're not being sold as a physical copy.
Okay. So am I going to start this list off here?
Go ahead.
All right. So the first one, and this is a big one, and this is kind of cool because I believe this is the only one on this list where it wasn't necessarily banned, but they decided not to put the game in this specific country. And that is Fallout 3. Now, Fallout 3 you cannot get in India. Now, the majority of these games involve, the governments of these places censoring or banning games. This is the case, and I'm getting this from I believe it's from a USA Today article.
Yes, ftw.usatoday.com.
Okay, so um,
I'll put the article in
Micro-
the show notes.
Microsoft themselves decided not to release Fallout 3 in India because of the Brahmin. Now, if everyone remembers, the Brahmin is that mutant two-headed cow that just kind of stands there. Doesn't
Don't do
really do
nothing.
much.
Don't bother nobody.
If you provoke it, I think it comes at you. But
Yeah, that's right.
So it's a mutant two-headed cow. In Hinduism, the majority religion in India, the cow is seen as a sacred symbol of life, so it may have been offensive to that audience, especially as it is named after a Hindu castle. So they smartly decided, let's not even try to go into this market because, we're not trying to offend anybody, and that's good forward thinking.
I agree. I think it's good forward thinking. At the same time,
it's like, they did like that. You've seen the creatures in that game. They didn't make that thinking it was going to be offensive to anybody.
No, it wasn't made to be deliberately offensive. You know what I mean? It was just one of those things that first
they realized it could be.
And then once again, also with the name Brahmin and that just that name itself has significance within Hinduism and within the country of India. So I mean, but dude, this was a two for when it comes down to shit they shouldn't do.
Yeah. So that is why you will not find Fallout 3 in India.
So Fallout the next 4, one, sorry. No,
yeah,
3, it's Fallout 3. So the next one we're going to talk about is actually it is a game you cannot find in the place that has saved video games. Not only helped, started, healed, but saved video games, and that is
it's the Mecca, bro.
The glorious land of the rising sun. We're talking about Japan. So if it wasn't for Japan, the video game industry may never have reached the heights that it has today, but that doesn't stop them from telling a gaming icon like Crash Bandicoot to shape up and get in line. So in the original version of the game, the animation exited where Crash's body was squashed and he became a floating head with some feet. Unfortunately, Japan did not let them show that because they looked at it as decapitation. And since 1997, when a school child beheaded another and left it outside their school, it's been something that they just kind of want to squash real quick. They don't want to mess with that.
That is fucking crazy.
That's hardcore, dude.
That is not.
Now this next one is straight up your alley because this is a game you absolutely love.
That's why I wanted to start, so I knew this one would come back to me.
Of course.
So doesn't shock me at all that this could be banned somewhere. And I am talking about South Park. I'm going to be guessing as to which scene it is, and I think I know. But South Park, the Stick of Truth, you will not find in Australia. It is banned there. The land where everything kills you.
Except for words.
Except for words. South Park, the Stick of Truth. So Australia is known for being stricter than most countries, English-speaking countries, in terms of what they do and don't allow. Their classifications board has a rating above the standard R18 called X18, where it's illegal for anyone under 18 to own it, regardless of what their parents think.
That is hilarious.
It will also occasionally dish out the rating RC, which stands for refused classification, essentially preventing it from being sold. Games from Silent Hill to Saints Row have received this rating, but the most high profile is indeed South Park, the Stick of Truth. You want to say something?
No, I was just going to say just the refused classification. That's one of those things that like certain countries will try to use to make sure that the game is never sold. You know what I mean? You mean they'll say it's not rated, or you know what I mean, or it's rated. You mean, or you mean they'll put something above like an M rating to where it's like, okay, you can't nobody touch this. We don't care what it is.
So the reason, so South Park Stick of Truth, it was initially refused classification, but was eventually allowed to be sold under the condition that a scene of sexual violence involving minors was removed. In Truth South Park fashion, the scene was replaced with a funny note explaining the situation. So, which is hilarious. Now, if I had to guess, spoiler alert, the scene that I'm imagining, you are in, and obviously you're playing South Park characters, so they're all kids. They're all from school. They're all school kids, so they're all underage.
That is true.
You are posing as a female in an abortion clinic. And
Holy Christ!
You're getting an abortion, or you're going through the steps to get an abortion. It's wild. It's wild.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I have that in me right now to handle that.
It's some shit. It's some shit. It's some shit. And I believe that's the game. And again, I'm gonna make your fucking head spin here, and anyone that's never played this game. And even after I say what I'm about to say, I promise you, these games are very, very well worth it. Very well worth it. If you like RPGs, especially turn-based RPGs, you will laugh the entire time. But there will be some parts where you're like, oh, geez, they just took that line and just hauled ass over it, huh? So this same scene, I believe, in this game, you end up fighting a boss in the abortion clinic that is
An aborted fetus.
Khloe Kardashian's aborted fetus, and it's like huge.
Oh my god!
If I'm not mistaken, that happened. I'm pretty sure. Like, part of me wants to actually Google real quick to make sure that I'm not lying.
I have nothing I can even remotely say on that.
Giant Nazi zombie fetus. The giant Nazi zombie fetus is a boss fight in the Unplanned Parenthood abortion clinic. It was aborted fetus of Khloe Kardashian.
Unplanned parent, like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was exposed to like this green goo that causes shit to go fucking crazy. So yeah, so I think that's the scene they're alluding to.
And they're not even referring to the fact of fighting an aborted Nazi zombie fetus.
Can't say I'm at a point where I can be like, oh man, I can't see how you'd want to ban that. I can't really disagree with you.
Jesus Christ.
And I'll be on record to say I play the game. I thoroughly enjoy the game, all parts of the game, but certainly understand if there's some people that don't want the game in their country. I get it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I get it. So moving right along, Wes, why don't you take us to the next one?
So as Andy likes to say, moving right along, let's take ourselves to Uzbekistan. And they got riled up in 2017 when a new law was introduced that banned the sale of 34 video games, including one of the most prolific simulated games of all time, The Sims 4. Now, while they didn't release an explanation for each individual ban, the law was claimed to combat games that are used to propagate violence, pornography, threaten security, and social and political stability. Now, what happens a lot with these countries that have more of a religious moral high ground in, that's running things. What happens there is that they continue to try to say that video games are destroying the minds of the youth and of the boys, that play them, and they cause yada 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 for everybody. And there are so many things that just go ahead and say that a bunch of that's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But exactly how they thought Sims 4 would help to stabilize the government is unclear, but most of the public agreed, asserting that the government was focusing on superficial issues instead of addressing the real societal problems.
It's like that country where it's like, God, dude, we have this huge homeless problem. They're like, but the Sims 4, guys, the Sims 4, we got to fix this.
Which pretty much you could just say that here.
Yeah, absolutely. You can say a lot of that shit here. But yes, that's The Sims 4, and now leave it for the Jew to take the next one. So we are going to Germany.
Look, man, you had one you really wanted. That means you get one you don't want.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, you're killing Nazis. So how much don't you want it?
Of all games, Wolfenstein. So while Germans do not shy away from teaching children and condemning the horrors of the Nazi regime, the imagery of Hitler and things like swastikas are banned. Unsurprisingly, Wolfenstein, which is simply covered in that stuff, was blocked from release in Germany. Eventually, it was allowed to be sold, but with a mustacheless Hitler and triangles instead of swastikas. So basically, they just wanted to gloss over all of the hideous shit that is the reason that you want to play that game. Like, I want to play that game because I get to.
You want to kill Nazis? Yes. No. Look. I fully understand that. It's just one of those things that I'm like, look, we don't need to see the swastikas. Like,
do we need to? No.
Look. Yo, if I see the red armband, I'm already like, I want to shoot him. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, yeah. Dude, I'm sorry, I'm not bullshit.
You must have saw a lot of red armbands in that fucking airport, huh?
I was thinking about that the other day.
Because my man just started blasting.
Yo, well, nah, yo, I was talking with somebody. I forget how the fuck it happened, but like, oh no, I was watching TikTok and somebody on TikTok was talking about it, and they went ahead and said like, yo, I did this, like, yo, I straight up murdered all these motherfuckers too. You know what I mean? Like
I told you
not
weren't
knowing
alone.
it, but yo, they as well didn't fucking know.
That you didn't have to.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, it's not, but I mean, it's cool.
No, it's not, and it's something that is going to sit on my soul for a very long time. Fuck.
I can't wait for you to talk about this next one, just because I love the title. So
I almost want to get my wife down here to say the title.
I don't
My
know that
wife
she
is
can.
my wife's a very prim and proper type of lady. I mean, at least like the way she presents herself. So
I feel like
having her
I
say
feel I feel like she would come down here and she would say coitus vixens or something.
No, she's not going to Sheldon Cooper us. No. Okay, so the next one we're talking about is actually a game that got banned in the UK, and it is Sex Vixens from Space. Now,
Where's
how do
bad?
you want
Come
me to
on.
say that? Do you want me to go Sex Vixens? Ooh, Sex Vixens from Space. Or would you rather have it? We're going to talk about some Sex Vixens from Space.
I like them both.
Or I could even give you a walk-in. We're going to just talk about Sex Vixens from space. You know. I'm not even high right now, so I have no excuse. I'm just being fucking weird. Wow. It is licensed to me. I do have a prescription for it, so say what you want. Now, despite what some may think, the UK is surprisingly permissive when it comes down to media, and that is one thing I actually will say. There's a lot of shit that happens over there that they just let fucking fly on TV at like 8 o'clock at night that you will never see in the States.
Alex and I love watching UK TV. Like Kitchen Nightmares, Gordon Ramsay's show. He has Kitchen Nightmares over here, but I love watching the UK version because they don't bleep anything.
No, they don't bleep shit.
No, you could say what I always loved watching. This is totally off topic, but I think his name is Alan Carr. He had a talk show, and it was always so funny when all these big stars from over here go over there and get so excited because they can say whatever the fuck they want. Like they don't have to worry about watching their mouth. They can say fuck, shit, piss, cunt, whatever the fuck they want. They can say it.
Are you going to say the rest of the 7 words you can't say on television? You literally started going through the list.
No, I'm not gonna.
Carlin, rest in peace, baby.
Absolutely.
All right. So, however, the provocative title and cover art were just enough to spark the moral outrage in 1989 when it comes down to the British. It's never technically been banned, but the game was never even submitted to the BBFC, which is essentially like ESRB for us. So no copies were ever made available in the UK to protect the youth of today. They even sound like a bunch of prissy ass bastards when they fucking explain it. And we have a pretty big following when it comes down to the people that listen to us from the UK. I want somebody to tell me about Sex Vixens from Space in the UK. Please explain to me something. I just want to know.
Please do. So I'm moving on to the most confusing one on this list for me. And I've been trying to figure it out, and I think I have an idea, but it would have helped if they would explain it this way. So we are going to go to Malaysia. And the game that has been banned in a handful of countries, but specifically Malaysia here, Pokemon Go. So while Pokemon Go is taking over the entire world, or well, so we thought was taking over the entire world, Malaysia was not part of that.
Definitely since 2016.
So now Pokemon Go is the handful of countries that it has been banned has usually been because of flaws in the security system, which
makes
I can understand.
Sense.
However, Malaysia's reason for banning the game is quite odd. The official reason given was that the game, and I quote, promoted the search for power, which says more about the people issuing the ban than it does so about the game. Apparently, there was a lot of public backlash to the banning of such a global sensation, and after improvements to security were made, the ban was repealed. So Malaysians can enjoy events like Pokemon Go Fest once more. So it's weird. So like it seems like security was the issue, but for some reason they didn't want to say that.
I feel Yeah. Okay. So for people who do not know, Malaysia has been dealing with over the last like 20 years ish. They've been dealing with a lot of upheaval and like regimes building up and dying out, building up and dying out. So so once again, you have a lot of leaders who don't want. They want their people to stay. They want their people to keep the thought that they might be free, so that way they can continue to act the right way. But in reality, they're still being locked down
Yeah.
by the country, and essentially that's the
Basically,
way that Malaysia's doing it, or
basically,
that's the way they were doing it.
basically, they're free.
Yes, huge quotations. Yes,
Putting the rabbit ears on free. Like, you're as free as we want you to think that you are,
yes.
which is not just Malaysia. But anyway,
No,
that's just
it's a lot of places.
who we happen to be talking about right now. But now I do know that there were some countries, and this I can wrap my head around the thought process going into it. I know there are some places, forgive me because I don't remember which countries, that had an issue with Pokemon in general, not just Pokemon Go, but Pokemon in general, because they saw it as like a form of like slavery-ish type of
Yes,
things. Like,
yes,
you are forcibly capturing these things and then forcing them to fight for you.
yeah.
So, and I can wrap my head around that. I can see how you can get from A to B
How
there.
is that any different than the gladiators in Rome?
Gladiators in Rome, dogfighting,
They
like
were
like real
taken, yeah,
shit.
dogfighting, cockfighting. Both of those are still extremely prevalent and huge problems today in many
Yeah,
countries,
yeah,
including the
yeah,
U.S.
yeah. And if there's anyone who's if there's two people that had to hear about dogfighting a lot, it's us with Michael Vick,
Yeah, yeah. With being in
with
the
our
Philadelphia
quarterback.
area, yeah, and right after
Yeah,
he got his release.
absolutely. But yeah. So like I can see how you get from A to B there, and I wouldn't disagree with anybody. Like, okay, I can see that, but yeah, their whole reasoning like that, it just kind of collapsed on itself. But
And that's what it is more than
like
anything.
when you yeah
It
like when
collapses on
you
itself more.
it's because when you say it's for one reason and then they fix something completely different and then they decide to bring it back, it's like, okay, so it had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Like, you said it has something to do with a quest for power. The game is still the same. All they did was tighten security and you're letting it back in. So that's weird. But anyway, carry on, good sir.
All right, I will carry on. The next game is actually one that was banned in South Korea, and it is Danganronpa V3. I hope I said that right.
Sounds about right. It looks right to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, a lot of games have been banned because of bad timing. GTA 3 is one that comes to mind, because it came under a lot of fire with how close it was released to the September 11th attacks of 2001. Because I believe it was released post 9/11, into which they could have and should have went in and kind of smoothed a few things out that that would have now looked a little tacky. But
Yeah.
And another game is Danganronpa V3. It suffered the same fate in South Korea. So the big reason why is that shortly after the game came out, no, yeah, sorry. Shortly after the game came out, a young girl, a schoolgirl was convicted of murdering another child. And the reason why this became a problem is because it was a high profile news piece in the South Korean public news. And also Danganronpa's it deals with teenage murder mysteries. So it was kind of like a poor taste thing. They should have waited like a few months before for putting that out, especially after something like that happening in a nation.
I agree. So, moving right on.
Please do.
And I have a game that you wouldn't expect to be banned anywhere. But the reasoning I have heard from other games, so let's get into it. And we are talking about Mario Kart Tour. Yes, a Mario Kart game being banned somewhere, and that somewhere happens to be Belgium. A first party Nintendo game getting banned is not something you'd expect to see in the modern day, but this mobile Mario Kart game falls afoul of Belgium's strict gambling laws. As many European countries are now looking into, Belgium classified loot boxes in games as gambling in 2018, making it completely illegal for any game available in Belgium to include them. This means that games like Mario Kart Tour are banned unless they release a version without loot boxes. So it's a good thing many of its tracks are coming into the Mario Kart 8 expansion. So that's interesting. It's interesting that they're not, like I said, they're not the only country that
That
I've
would
read
mean that that sounds like microtransactions are illegal in certain countries. Because a microtransaction a lot of times has to a lot of times they have to do with loot boxes.
Yeah, certain ones like microtransactions where you know exactly what you're getting for your money is not a gamble.
No, that's
not.
A
loot box is where you're not sure, you're hoping you get something good. It's a gamble.
Like the duffel bags that we get in Eshel. That technically would be gambling if we were putting money on it because we don't know what we're getting.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%.
Okay. The last one that we have actually is a game that you love, your wife loves, my wife loves, and I know Shelby loves. I know some people who love this game. It is Animal Crossing New Horizons, and it got banned in China. Now, when I say that, am I surprised to hear that China has a government censorship on a video game? Absolutely not. Absolutely
China?
Not.
Government censorship? No way.
But Animal Crossing drew the ire of officials as clothing patterns and tile patterns can include just about anything. When players visited other islands across the world, Chinese citizens were able to view anti-government messages. So if they saw anything that was anti-communist, which is essentially China's government, whether they like to say it or not, we all know it. If they find anything that's anti-government, anti-communist, the Chinese, you mean Chinese like local people would be like, hey, they're right. Let's start a revolution. I've never heard of a revolution coming from a fucking video game, but sure, let's ban it. Why not?
Yeah, let's go with that.
I do want to go ahead and, because that was the end of the list. I do love this list. This was fantastic. Like I said, ftw.usatoday.com. I will put this in the show notes. I want to thank Ryan Woodrow for writing this list. I will go ahead and tag him as well in the Twitter because we use this entire thing. I don't want to fuck up on this. I want to make sure. We throw shit all the right way.
Absolutely. Now there's a game I would love to add to this because I know there's a game that's coming that I am for certain will probably be banned some places. And that'll be High on Life. I feel like there's some places that's going to be banned. I do.
I feel like you're right, man. Just because of Knifey alone.
Probably. I mean, pick your poison, really, but. Yeah, so do I. I said pick your poison, really, but there's like multiple different things in that game. I can't wait to play it, but.
Oh, dude, and it's on Game Pass too.
Yeah.
It's gonna be day one. Like, yo, it's gonna be fucking awesome. I am very excited. But yeah, we gave y'all free games, and we gave y'all the banned games. So now let's give you news. Let's go ahead and just throw a few things out there to the lovely, awesome people out here in the world, right? So, everybody has heard about PS5 is going to be increasing their price in several markets in several countries. One of them not being the US, which is lucky enough for us, but a lot of other places, they are raising their prices up. Microsoft has confirmed that they will not increase the price on the Series X or S.
How crazy is this like full circle thing coming to witness with Microsoft? Because like we started the year with them getting ready to like ridiculously jack up the prices for Xbox Live and all that shit until like the fans like revolted.
Yes.
And they were like, okay, maybe not a good idea. And then, right after that happened, like Sony was clowning them for that, and then they were doing certain things, and it's like everything seems to be shifting. Now Sony is raising prices places, and Xbox is like, no, you're good.
Nah, man, we good.
You're safe here. You're safe here. What cost you an Xbox today is going to cost you tomorrow. So
in certain countries, looks like it's going to go up by about 30 pounds, which is probably like $35. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many euro exactly, or this might actually be euro. Well, no, this is UK, so it's gonna be pounds. But yeah, I mean, look, you're talking about anywhere from a $35 to $50 increase for the PS5, and also for the digital edition as well.
I mean, which is substantial because it's not like it's cheap out the gate.
No, they are mainly putting this as them being under stress in the supply chain due to COVID and a lot of what's happening in with Russia's invasion of the Ukraine. Now, while I will say, at least in my own personal thoughts, like COVID, yes, that absolutely had an issue, you know what I mean, with causing these problems.
Absolutely. But you're taking it out on the people that buy your shit.
Yes.
We didn't we didn't cause COVID.
How much money does PlayStation, you mean the Sony Interactive SIE make off of PlayStation?
We say this all the time about both companies. They have more money than they will ever know what to do with. Now, that doesn't mean I'm sitting here saying, like, you know, you got to start giving freebies out everywhere and, you know, you have enough, how much money's enough money. Like, do your thing, make your money.
No,
but, like,
we're in the land of capitalism. I get it.
Like, you make enough money that you don't need to add another $30 to $50 for a system that is already hard as fuck for everyone to get. Like, people are already stressed about how they're going to get one if they want one. Now, if they get one, they got to pay extra money. Why? For something we had no control over?
Yeah, that's the shitty part.
Come on, bro. You can't just make it up with the next system. It ain't like you ain't going to have one. Right? Like, you think Sony and Microsoft are just like, you know, there's definitely not...
shit, yo, you just put that shit on fucking point. Yo,
there's definitely not going to be a PS6, right? No way.
No, this is it. PS5 is it. They're never going to make anything again. So, what the fuck? Idiots. Honestly, just a bunch of assholes.
Yeah, I was fucking hate shit like that.
Yeah, so do I.
I hate it more when, like, I see a company going back and, like, undoing reasons that I always gas them up. Such as, like, you know, when Xbox did that shit, you know, or tried to do that shit with their prices. And I was like, you don't ever see Sony doing that shit. Fucking here we are.
Yeah, yo, you did say that shit. You fucking you put them in, like, I mean, you put that halo around their head, and they just went ahead and cracked that bitch into a bunch of horns.
Yeah, I sure did. But you know what? Microsoft made their way back, so Sony, get that shit together, will you?
And actually, we're gonna stay in the Microsoft realm for a minute because there was a leak, and I sent you a screenshot of this that I got from IGN.
Yep.
I'm currently looking at a web. I'm looking at an article off of Gamer Rant currently, but there was a leak for the Xbox Game Pass Family and Friends plan. So what this is it essentially turns the plan of now once again I am also going to read this in pounds because that's what I have in front of me. All right, y'all. So with this Game Pass Friends and Family account. You are able to, it'll be you and up to 4 people as well on the same, you know, basically playing off of the same Xbox Game Pass account, right?
Like we could have a CGC account that you, me, and Anthony all have.
Exactly. And we all could play off of it. And once again, this is Game Pass Ultimate, which is their highest tier that they have. When it comes down to like everything that you can grab from Game Pass, that includes cloud gaming and all of it. It is going to be $21.99 a month, and that is in pounds, the equivalent of about $25 a month in the States. Now, when all this happens, and when this happens over here, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they're going to figure out something for like a yearly thing, because that I would much more prefer if they just told me, look, you're paying X amount of money per year, and then that way everybody in your house is good.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. Like, it's still weird that they've decided to do like a strictly monthly thing.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the monthly as opposed to the yearly. I understand the monthly mainly because everybody handles everything with on a monthly basis.
Well, yeah,
bills and everything else.
Yeah, you should always have the monthly thing as an option, but it's just so weird that everything you've ever done with your systems, you've always had a yearly option. With Xbox Live, was always monthly, yearly. Same thing with Sony, monthly, yearly. Game Pass comes out strictly monthly. Like,
well, Game Pass Ultimate comes out and it's monthly. Regular Game Pass when it first came out, I bought a yearly thing, I believe.
Yeah. Now, depending on how this works is whether or not I'd be interested in it. So, if it's like, you know, do we all share the same profile and all, like, games that you play, games that I play, all go to, like, the same achievement tracker? Or do I get to keep my Scooby CGC? So,
what I'm able to gather from this is essentially, it's like the family plan that you can get for Nintendo. Yeah, for the Switch. Which is like you basically have a main person account, which is like for my house, it's me. And then you also have other people that can play online and also play online games, which are like my wife and my daughter. You know what I mean? They have their own accounts, their own screen names, you know what I'm saying? Their own avatars. Yeah. So, it's just, that's what I'm guessing they're going to end up doing with this.
I just need a little bit more information, that's all.
I agree. And once again, this is a beta that they're doing out in Ireland, so hopefully we will get a little more information from the Emerald Isle soon. Also, the last thing I want to do when it comes down to talking about Xbox, because Xbox has had a stellar last week and a half.
Yeah.
They have provided a signed agreement to Sony promising to bring future Call of Duty games to PlayStation. And of course, this has to do with the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft.
And it's cool that they did that because we had this conversation when everything was going on. We had it on the podcast when I said, is this going to go the way of, the Fallout games where it seems like they're just going to keep those?
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Well, anything Bethesda, really, for the most part, it seems like they're going to keep those. And we were like, man, they're buying up all these companies. Are they literally about to run a monopoly here? Like, you want to play any games, you need an Xbox and drive Sony out of fucking business or what? So
either you need an Xbox or you need an Xbox account, which means you can also play PC.
Yeah, true.
Which also is right up Microsoft's alley, you know what I'm saying, being a PC software company.
Absolutely.
But in January, really cool. It was provided as a signed agreement with Sony to guarantee Call of Duty on PlayStation with feature and content parity for at least several more years beyond the current Sony contract. So not only is Sony already have a contract with Activision Blizzard when it comes down to the Call of Duty games, with like Treyarch, I believe is the company. That actually makes the games, right?
Treyarch, yeah.
Yeah, Treyarch. They also went ahead and said, like, even after that contract, we're still going to make sure there's going to be another contract to continue. To continue this game being one that is a multi-cross-platform game. And to that, I say kudos to Microsoft.
Kudos to you. Kudos to you, Pete.
Phil Spencer, not bad, sir. I'm not always a fan, but not bad. Okay, I only have 2 more articles, and then we can jump into a little bit of what are we playing. Look, man, we already knew this was going to be a little bit longer episode, so y'all knew when y'all started listening to us. Knew it. But we're going to talk a little bit about Gamescom 2022. So we do have a few things that have been announced. We got a few more things on information for certain games, so let's just dive right into it.
Yeah, really, everything is solid. Really only 2 that I'm super interested in. But the 2 that I'm interested in, I am very, very interested in.
Agreed. So, just to go ahead, I'm not going to go over all of it just because, we still have other stuff we want to talk about tonight. But, some of it is kind of big stuff. Yeah, so Dead Island 2, it got a new trailer 8 years after the last trailer, and we know that the game is going to be coming out February 3rd of next year.
Yep.
That one is cool. We got some information about Sonic Frontiers. That game is going to be releasing November 8th, which is actually pretty sick. I'm excited to go ahead and see more trailers from that game, more gameplay.
Yeah.
We got more information for Gotham Knights. Number 1, Harley Quinn and Clayface are major villains in the game.
That is one of the games that is one of the 2 that I'm very, very interested in.
And you're going to have those 2 as well as having to deal with Mr. Freeze, the Penguin, and essentially the entire city with the Court of Owls. So Gotham Knights is going to be coming out October 21st of this year. Yeah, that game is going to be banging, dude. Just banging. Another one that we had was Hogwarts Legacy. We got some more. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see the fist. I see the fist pumping. We got a opening night live. So we got a nice story trailer from the game. They did a few things with walking into the different halls. So you had Slytherin. You had the Slytherin one was cool, dude.
The whole game looks fantastic. But did you hear about the 1L that they're taking? And rightfully so. I
haven't. I will tell you, I haven't paid that much attention to Hogwarts Legacy.
So you know what is not in this game as of right now at all? Quidditch.
Oh, I did hear that it is it's in the game, but you can't play.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
You can't. They're like, so like, let me get this straight. You can fly around on brooms in this game, but you cannot play Quidditch. And people are like, this is a huge L. They're like, now can it be saved with like an online mode or something like that where you can play Quidditch with your friends or something? Okay, we can save it.
That would be cool,
I guess. But I was really shocked to hear that. I was like, such a like an iconic part of those movies.
Yeah.
And like I could understand if flying, it would have been weird, but if for whatever reason flying wasn't an element of that game, flying on brooms wasn't an element, then okay, don't have Quidditch, but seems strange to omit that. But anyway.
Another thing that we got was we got new Tales of the Borderlands was officially announced.
Yep.
That's going to be coming out October 21st, 2022. The story will follow 3 new characters, Anu, Octavio, and Fran, alongside familiar faces from the normal Borderlands universe that we all know and love. Another thing we had was High on Life, which is something we were talking about a little bit earlier. We got the exclusive new trailer on top of the fact of hanging out with Knifey, who is a cussing, nasty, he just wants to fucking kill everything type of guy.
Yeah.
And once again, this is the game that is being brought to you by the developers of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So I'm, once again, not surprised at all with this. Let's fucking go, because, again, this game looks absolutely fucking bonkers. We got some information about how they created the rat swarm in the new Tales game, Plague Tale Requiem.
Yes.
And Hideo Kojima is starting a podcast, apparently, and it's going to be called Brian Structure. It's going to be a Spotify. I'm guessing it's probably Spotify exclusive with the way that Spotify does their things. But one of the biggest things that I want to talk about, at least for me personally, is we got 10 minutes of solid gameplay from Forspoken.
Yes, we do.
Now, you have over 100 spells that you can do in this game.
Kind of daunting.
But yes, and if you have ever played the Devil May Cry series, they have a particular type of grading system with their combos, and that is also part of this game. But I mean, you learned a little bit more about the character, Frey. She's a New Yorker. You know what I mean? She gets sucked into the world that we already know about. You know what I mean? And then hilarity ensues, as I like to say. But that's all. That's all I have right now when it comes down to Gamescom. I mean, look, we'll probably talk a little more when more stuff develops. You know what I mean, from some of these releases. But one of the last things that I actually want to talk about is a game that you and I are very excited for. Comes out October 14th. We have NHL 23 is doing some major overhaul to their shit.
Yeah. There's I've got mixed feelings about this game, like I always do, except for it's weird. Like most years, I'm hopeful for certain things, and then either they do or don't happen. Like this one from like I've been we'll talk about what are we playing, because I have the the beta, but there's some cool things that they've added. And then there's some, but it still largely feels like the exact same game as the last year. So the biggest thing, we'll get to that first, is that there is now crossplay, which is fantastic.
Yes.
Absolutely fantastic. So gone are the days where you, me, and whoever we're going to play with, what system you get it for? What system you want to get it for?
Yeah, now it doesn't matter.
Whatever system you want. And it also will open a larger player pool when we're playing games in Shell,
which is absolutely incredible.
Same teams over and over and over.
Hell yeah!
So that is incredible. So that is a plus. But then some of the other things that they've added, it's just like when you have a year to work on a game, you just expect more. So it's cool that they added things, but they only went so far. So
okay, so how about right now we go into what's cool. And then when you do your what are we playing, we can go into the stuff that you want to critique.
That's fine. So the next biggest thing, and actually, in my opinion, it's the biggest thing. It puts crossplay at second. Is that you now finally have women represented in the game. You actually have a woman on the cover. Sarah Nurse is on the cover.
And you have women represented the right way. And this is what I'm talking about. So, when we play these games, if somebody has a 95 speed, a man 95 speed compared to what a woman 95 speed normally would be a different thing. Because they want to go ahead and make these games that, they want to spread it that far apart. In NHL 23, they went ahead and said, rating is rating no matter what. A 95 is a 95. It doesn't matter what you are, who you are.
If Sarah Nurse is a 95 speed and Connor McDavid is a 95 speed, they're skating
just as fast. Yes.
Absolutely. And that is fantastic. You're also going to have the women will be in like Hockey Ultimate Team packs, so you can actually unlock them to have them on your team alongside with men and stuff like that. So that's
which is great. Like super dope. Think about this. You could create a team that has like I'm just gonna say this because it's the first one I could think of, but it would have Crosby and his sister on the same squad because Sidney Crosby's sister is the goalie for the national women's team for Canada. I mean, they added a bunch of stuff in here that would be good for you because because you do the franchise stuff. So having fully customizable leagues with 48 teams, and you can go ahead and like tweak the cap, number of games, playoff form. You can change the playoff format, which is actually pretty sick.
That is cool. So like the reason behind that is so like you can literally recreate any era of hockey now if you wanted. If you wanted to play like they played in the 50s, you can do that.
And that's what it is in news. All right, bro. Let's give him that echo. So, now it is time to go ahead and let all the crew members at home and the ones abroad, we're going to tell you what we are playing. Okay. It's been a minute. It's been a long fucking minute since we went ahead and talked about playing video games. So, I guess I can run first and then you finish us off and then I'll tell everybody where they can find us. And we'll keep it that way.
Get her going.
All right. So, I've been jumping more into Bloodlines. The not Call of Duty. What the fuck is it? See, now I can't even think what the hell it is. The Tom Clancy. Ghost Recon. There you go. Yeah. Ghost Recon Bloodlines is the game that me and the guys are currently fucking with. So myself, Hav, Mike, and Dan. The issue is that they're having so many fucking problems with the server. Their servers are fucking trash. Cause I'll be online and it'll show that I'm online, and I'll go ahead and be able to say that my squad is my friends only, so only my friends can see that I'm online, and they don't see that I'm online.
I was about to say,
yeah. That way. Or while I'm online on Wi-Fi playing video games with my friends, talking with them, it's telling me that I'm not online and I can't join their game. So like the servers are really fucked up. They've been having a huge problem with this ever since they even brought this game on Game Pass, to be honest with you. I don't remember us having this issue when we played on PlayStation. Because we did play this game a little bit on PlayStation. Me, and Anthony.
Yeah, but now it's got me thinking, did we play Wildlands? We may have played Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I don't fucking know anymore.
Did I just fuck your brain up?
Dude, my brain's been fucked up for ages. This ain't nothing new. But besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and look at it in a sec. Besides that, I pre-ordered my Pokemon Scarlet, so I'm ready for that. Ooh, I forgot to talk about it. We can talk about this next week. There is a new Pokemon that they have been putting out. They've been throwing out on social media. The Grafai, I believe is what it's called. Yeah. Because it looks like an eye.
Yeah.
Or an I forget how it's said.
I think it's I.
I think it's I. Yeah, which is the Madagascan like lemur.
Yeah.
But so I pre-ordered that. I pre-ordered Scarlet. I just pre-ordered Temtem for the Switch, which is essentially the Pokemon-ish game that Pokemon said, nah, y'all all right. Even though it's basically a fucking copy and paste. But other than that, I have not done the Freaky Friday in the last few weeks, and I'll be honest with you, I'm a little burned out on streaming, so we're going to have a discussion and we're going to figure out what's going on from there.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, I'm always honest with everybody, you know what I mean, and I gotta keep it straight. So
absolutely.
But other than that, it really hasn't been much. My daughter's been getting into a game called Roblox, and she's been playing that. My son tried to play one of the Paw Patrol games on Game Pass today, so that was hilarious.
Already?
Oh no, not at all, not at all.
Fair enough.
And Elena still has some work, you know what I mean, because she doesn't do anything with the right analog stick, you know what I mean, when she's using the controller. So she's not, so she can't like look around, you know what I'm saying? She's just going whichever way she thinks is straight.
Yeah.
And jumping, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically it. So, but yeah, man, that's all I have. There's not much that's really screaming at me to play. So I'm not really like diving hardcore into anything new, you know what I'm saying?
Fair.
But how about you, man? What have you been playing, sir?
For me, it's been really, really hockey heavy, which it usually is when we start to get towards the new game. I just get out like my last little bit of what I want out of the previous year. So I remember that the franchise that I said I started. Oh no, this is actually a totally different one. Okay, so what I normally do when these games come out is like once the trade deadline is over, you good?
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking.
Oh, once the trade deadline's over and the teams like the rosters are updated with like their legitimate rosters, I usually do one last franchise. And what I normally do is I pick the Flyers. And with the exception of our young guys with high upside potential, I trade everybody for as many picks as I can. So I end up with, a bunch of picks. But so I am currently I think I'm in 2042, I believe. Yeah, I've gone through a lot. I hit a record streak.
I honestly can't get enough of that.
I hit a record streak of 8 Stanley Cups in a row.
Oh,
and then
my
God.
God.
And then I finally lost them to all people. I lost to Pittsburgh. But
so what, Sidney Crosby's great-great-grandson?
You're right, basically. But so I've been doing that. But then I've also been fucking around with the technical test for NHL 23. And
I'm glad you got that. I really am.
This is where I got to talk some shit. So
please do.
Crossplay, fantastic. Women's representation, double fantastic.
I actually have a question for you.
Go ahead.
With that game, and I know you're going to get to it, but that like sacrificial like last chance shot thing, you know what I'm saying? How is that?
I will get to that 100%. Fuck it, I'll start there. So yes, they did add in it's pretty much, I don't know if they call it last chance, but in previous games, we'll just talk about 22 because that's the one that we've been playing. Everyone knows what it's like to be skating with the puck. Some dude just barely nudges you from behind, and like you just lose the puck. Your dude loses his fucking balance, and that is what it is. Which is, for anyone who's ever played hockey, incredibly unrealistic. So they have added this new last chance animation where if you get bumped from the side, from the back, or whatever, you can double tap. You either double tap pass or you double tap shoot. That's how you do it. And your dude will do like a last chance animation to just get the puck towards the net, or you can also use it for a pass to just try to pass it to someone, wrap it around the board, something. So it's a cool feature. I feel like if they don't find a way to balance it, people are going to spam the fuck out of it, and it's going to look really weird. And in the trailer, it was really weird because, one of them looked great. Like Ovi got like kind of pushed from behind, and he was like off balance, but he was still able to get a shot on. That looked great. One happened in the corner where this dude was coming like around the back of the net. He got nudged, and when he got nudged, he just like dove and made a picture perfect, almost full width of the rink pass, tape to tape, to someone else for a one-timer. And I was like, well, that looked really fucking stupid.
Well, that's off.
It is cool. It is cool that you can also use it defensively. if you're like skating towards a puck, like you're about to break up a pass, but you're just like a step late, or you feel like you're a step late, you can double tap and do like a diving swat to try to like do a last second swat to get it out of the zone or whatever.
See, that would be cool for the goalie.
Yeah, so like it is pretty cool. I'm glad
cross crease would make it very interesting.
It's gonna be interesting to see how they tweak it, how well it works, and how much people spam it, and how, because that's gonna make like how dumb the game's gonna look. If you just got people diving all over the rink swatting pucks, it's gonna look really stupid.
No, you're right.
And the same thing also goes for they tweaked the poke check, which everybody asked for, because the poke check was like literally unstoppable in 22. Someone's coming down, you fucking poke from any direction, and your stick was fast as fuck. Now they've slowed down the poke check a little bit, so you have to time it a lot better, and there's a lot more penalties for mistiming it as far as speed. If you mistime a poke, you're gonna see a speed difference between the guy that you missed the poke on and him getting around you. Like, because in 22, if I'm skating backwards with you and I miss a poke, I really wasn't penalized for that, unless I took a tripping penalty. But like, there was no speed. Like, I could still maintain the same speed with you. You know, it really wasn't an issue. So they've done that, which they've done well. They added, I believe they said 500. It was either 300 or 500. Either way, it's a lot of new animations for the goaltenders. And what goalies can apparently do now, which they've never been able to do before, is now goalies can make any save that you can make when you're controlling the goalie, the AI goalies can now go for. So like those split V saves and the dives and swatting the puck with the stick and all this crazy shit, AI goalies will now be able to do that. So that's pretty cool.
It'll make it'll make games a lot more fun to play. You know what I'm saying?
Now, of all the new things that I saw, the one thing, and it may seem so small, but it's happened to everybody, the thing that I am most excited for, and I have been asking why they haven't done this for over since Chell became a thing, so I feel like it's like a decade at this point. When your players are going for a line change now, like when you're, like, say you're playing Be a Pro or whatever you're fucking playing, or even Chell, your player goes for a line change. As they're going for a line change, just like they do in real life, they hold their stick up now. So when someone's skating to the bench for a change, you'll see their stick in the air. So no longer are you going to pass to a guy that's skating up the boards thinking it's going to be fine. All of a sudden, he jumps on the bench and you completely turn the puck over or ice it because you had no idea that he was going for a line change.
Yes.
It happened all the time, and I fucking hated it. So now, there's no mistake. You know when a guy's going for a line change because he skates to the bench with a stick in the air. So that's one of the things I'm most excited for. Now, here are some of the letdowns. It's like they took good steps towards certain things, but they just didn't do enough. So last year was the first year with the X Factors that they added, right?
Yes.
Which is cool. So you'd think that they would have expanded on that. Now, apparently they tweaked some of the existing ones, and they've added new ones, but they only added 2. They added 2 new X Factors. That's it, and it's so blatantly obvious. It's stupid. It's so. The 2 cover athletes, you have Sarah Nurse, who plays for in Canada, and you have Trevor Zegras, who plays for Anaheim.
Yes.
So, so the new X Factor abilities come basically from them. So an X Factor that you get from Sarah is the chance of you being able to pull off the last chance shit, like the last chance shots and the last chance passes and stuff like that, is elevated. So like, how easy is that? One of your X Factor abilities you happen to put in the game is just to bolster like one weird new thing that you put in the game. God damn it, go ahead. You got him. Ting him up.
I don't.
It's okay.
The
do
kids
it the way you used to do
fucking
it.
took him.
Ding!
Goddamn children. Which I love.
And Trevor Zegras, I'm sure you saw and it's cool that they added it. I'm sure you saw the goal that he got in real life where he was behind the net, looked like he was about to pull the Michigan, flipped it over the net to his teammate, he batted in. That is now in the game. It's called the Zegras. I have no problem with it being in the game because it actually happened.
Can you do it? See, I know in the game that like we can try to do it. My question is, can you, Andy, do it?
I haven't tried yet. But now that's the other X Factor ability. It boosts the probability of that move working. So the only 2 new X Factors you added were to boost a move that realistically you're rarely ever going to try to use anyway. Think about it. Like they had
even in
they added
Michigan is extremely rare to actually see.
think how many games of Chell have we played? Have you ever seen someone try to do the Michigan on us ever?
No,
I've never. Which is fine because in real life you rarely ever see it.
Well,
So
yeah,
it's
because
cool
the
that
guy's
it's in
going to
the
get
game.
absolutely fucking leveled for doing it.
Yeah, and even if you get like the likelihood of it going in with how big the goalies are and how reactive. Now, granted, Andrei Svechnikov pulled it off twice last year or 2 years ago, the year that they added. So technically 2 years ago, he pulled it off twice. So, but it's still low. Not likely that that's going to happen. And the same thing with this. So you add an X Factor ability. You add 2 X Factor abilities. One, which is for a move that no one is really ever going to try very often. So it's kind of pointless that you even put it in the game. And the last chance shit, if anything, it's probably just going to make the game look stupid because a lot of people, if it does work as good as I think it is, are going to pop that on and you're just going to see people diving all over the ice. It's going to look really unrealistic. I hope that's not the case, but I fear that. They've also added new strategies for the power play. Now, this is cool. The power play and the penalty kill. But again, what's annoying, they only added one. They added one new thing you can do on the power play, one new thing you can do on the PK. They added the 1-3-1 power play, so you can have the one guy in front of the net, the 2 wings, the guy floating in the middle, and then like the one dude up the point. So it's cool that they added that, and then they added the 1-1-2 defense, which is basically the counter to the 1-3-1 power play. So they've added those. To me, cool you added it, but like that's it. So there's still only like 4 strategies you can use for the power play. Now, something I will give them credit for that we can use that I think is incredibly fucking cool. If you're playing Be a Pro or even if you're doing like a franchise mode or whatever, you can choose positions for your players to go in after the face-off. So you can go in and adjust your strategies. So like say, we have Couturier taking the draw, Konechny on the left wing, and fucking Farabee on the right, and I'll just say Farabee on the right wing because that's their positions. Couturier is the best face-off guy, but say you don't want that to be his position afterwards, you can set it so after that draw they switch positions. Couturier goes to the wall, someone else goes in front of the net. So that's cool. That's cool.
I like that. That's pretty neat.
And you can also choose how you want your power play to set up, who you want it to run through. You can pick specific players. You can pick Couturier, say, I want you to be the setup guy. You can pick Konechny as, I want you to be the shooter. I want you to be the finisher. You're the guy that I want getting to that spot. We're going to try to run this through you. So that's cool. Like, those 2 things are really cool.
Yeah.
I wish they would have added more to, like I said, to the power play and the PK as far as, like, actual strategies. But, and like you said, the franchise mode stuff that they've added is cool, like being able to create your own and stuff like that. But the information I'm really waiting to hear about is what, if any, changes they've made to Be a Pro and to franchise mode, because they have gotten incredibly stale over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It's just the same shit over and over again with the same stupid glitches and bugs. Like they added in that thing where in the middle of the game,
wow,
in the middle of the game,
Sqeak-a-Thon,
excuse me, right in the middle of the game, you get those like coaches challenges, like where the coach will be like, hey, we need a goal, blah blah blah. You know how many times I've done like the star answer, which is I'm gonna go out and get us a goal, and say I didn't get the goal, there would be someone coming to me after the game is over when I'm sitting in the locker room and the coach comes up to me and says, some shit like, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Try to get it done next period. Like, what? The game's over, idiot. The fuck are you telling me to get it next period for? Like, their glitches and their bugs are so insane, and I get it. They don't have the size of a team that a lot of these other game companies have. But like, if you're gonna keep putting out a game, it's like no excuse at this point. Like,
I agree.
I get it, and I've said this all the time. I think they what really hurts them is not having a rival to force them to step their game up. The fact that there is no NHL 2K to push them in a direction.
That would be so cool.
For the longest time, Madden had 2K. Madden had there was another one as well. I forget which one it was.
I mean, you also had Blitz as well, which was like just
that was
comical.
arcadey though. That was arcadey though. But yeah, NBA, you had NBA 2K, you had NBA Live.
Yeah.
You know, all the racing games, you got Need for Speed, you got Forza, you got Gran Turismo. Like, there's like something pushing you to like just do more, you know.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Gran Turismo and Forza, neither one of them would be remotely what they are right now.
Yeah. Like, you see what they're doing, you want to step your game up. NHL hasn't had that since whenever the 2K was done. ESPN, that's what I was thinking of. ESPN used to have hockey games, football games, basketball games.
That was in the early 2000s.
I think, yeah, it may have only been a couple of years, like 2000 to 2002 or so, because I remember AI was on the cover of the basketball one.
Well, I know T.O. was on the cover of
football.
Yeah, the football one, and I was in my apartment at that time, my own apartment, so that was definitely post 04.
Yeah. One last thing about Chell that they added. They did add something which will be better for casual players, I think, in your Be a Pro and in your franchise mode. They're basically like quick ideas, I guess, from your coach that they'll give you in-game adjustments, and you can choose whether or not you want to do them. So like, say you're at the end of the game, you're tied 1-1, and it'll come up and there'll be one option that says, go for the goal, try to end it now, or take a more defensive approach, and you just pick like yes or no, I do or I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Same thing with like goalie pulls, like, hey, we suggest that you pull the goalie now. If you want to do it, all you got to do is push down on the D-pad and it'll pull the goalie. So
yeah,
that's cool for like the the casual fan, the casual players to do. But so am I gonna get it? Of course. We'll see how she goes, but it's. I fear that I'm gonna, I fear that I'm only gonna be playing it with you guys after like the second or third month. I'm just gonna be playing with you guys for
which is essentially all I ever do with those games. Yeah. You know what I mean? I only play with you guys.
Like NBA, like NBA 2K,
the goddamn
like all
fly
the
here. It's fucking pissing me off.
I see. Like all the shit that you can do in 2K, like it's not just so monotonous that it's just one game after another after another. There's so much shit to do.
True.
I play that shit all week. Like,
I mean, even the show. The show
same
has.
Thing, yeah.
Because I played the show a good bit on Xbox on the Game Pass, and with that game, like, yes, there is monotony. With the game, especially if you're a position player, let alone a pitcher. But like, one of the neat things is that like during the week you have practices, and you can go ahead and you can do certain things to level up certain parts of your game with the practice, and then like your coach will talk to you, be like, hey, do you want to be a reliever or do you want to be a starter? Like, do you want to be? Do you want to finish games? Like, if you're a pitcher, you know what I'm saying, you go ahead and try to figure that stuff out.
Yeah, it drives me nuts with NHL that like if you just don't have the manpower to do it, fine. If that were the case, I would say at this point, come out with a game every 2 years. Then don't come out with a game every year. Come out every 2. But think about it. Now, I can't speak on FIFA because I never played it. But you look at 2K, you're telling me about the show. The thing I love about 2K is there's nothing that happens in the life of a basketball player, things that you do that you can't do in that game. You have team workouts before your games where you go out and you run 5-on-5s and 5-on-3s and you have certain things that the coach wants you to do. Then you have individual workouts you can do. You go to the Gatorade Training Center. You do, you got the battle ropes and the treadmills and the weights, and each thing you do can boost some of your stats for the game. So like everything that comes with being a basketball player, you do. This is NHL 23. You still can't even go out on the ice for warm-ups before a game to shoot on the net with your teammates. Think of how stupid that is.
That would be a lot of
Think
fun.
of how much goes in to being a hockey player and other things that you can do. Like, I'm going to take out, the stuff which is still cool. Take out the stuff from 2K where you can walk around the city, do the arcadey shit, play against, which is still very, very fun and very cool, and I wish NHL would have it. But fine, you don't want to have that. Think about the things that you absolutely do as a hockey player. You have team workouts. We've never had those in the game. You have shoot-arounds beforehand. You don't have those in the game. You individually work out. You go to gyms. You don't do that in the game. It's insane. It is 100%. It's 100% insane.
You're not wrong.
And they've dialed it back so far. I do believe at one point you could even choose your curve in Chell. You used to be able to pick the curve that you wanted on your stick, and it would affect your shot types.
Same thing with curve of the blade.
Yeah, if you had
the angle of the blade.
If you had a heavy curve, your wrist shot would be crazy, but your backhander wouldn't be that great. Your slapper might not be that great. If you had a flatter blade, your slapper, your backhander would be the tits, but you really wouldn't have that much of a wrist shot. They stripped that away. You can't even do that anymore. So it's like literally all you do is play and answer questions. It's like, it's so frustrating, but like I'm forced to buy it because it's 1A, 1B, my favorite sport, with basketball, but it's the only option I have for a game. So it's either I get that game or I don't have one to play.
That's true.
So, hopefully one fucking day they get the shit together, but, I'm hoping that we find out something about, be a pro franchise mode that's going to make me be like, well, this is really fun. I kind of want to go for this now, but we'll see. As of right now, it's just going to be for chill with you guys.
That's all it ever is.
Why don't you tell the people where they can find us, Big Poppy?
Ooh. Is that what I am now?
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Now it is time for you to connect with CGC. You can go to our website, which is consolegamingcrew.com, or you can go to our email, which is consolegamingcrew@gmail.com. Please send us an email. We will email you back. Guaranteed. Our Twitter is @ConsoleCrew, which is the best place you can go ahead and get a hold of us. We will get right back to you. That is the one I handle. I will guarantee. Our YouTube and Instagram are both Console Gaming Crew, and we are going to start boosting up our Instagram movement. You will start seeing some activity from that platform, so please make sure you look for it. Try to check us out on there. Also, as you heard in the beginning of the episode, Boss Rush Network. That is the network that we are a part of, bossrush.net. It is one of the best places you can go to find any and all stuff gaming, console, PC, any of it. Trust me. Anything entertainment-wise, you will find it there too. Look, am I going to lie to you? Do I have a reason to lie to you?
No, you don't.
And there you go. That's all you need to know. We also have a Twitch, and I love that we throw this one out at the end. CGC Podcast. You have my co-op game, which is the Monday night runs, which I run with my boys. You have Mike at the console of the We Are the Console Gaming Crew. Second time. I've done that so many times. You have Mike from the Twisted Cape. You have Javier and Dan. Right now, we have been running some Wildlands, which is what I found out the game is actually called, not Bloodlines or whatever. So it's Wildlands. And no, look, we also jump into some other random shit. Jav and I actually jumped into Sea of Thieves the other night.
Nice.
And I've also jumped into some weird racing golf game. I'll explain it to you later. It's another one that just dropped on Game Pass. But and then we also have our Fun or Freaky Fridays, into which it is exactly like it sounds. You are either going to see us have fun or you're going to see me or Andy get fucking scared. Please come and join us. It is one of the best things you can do on a Friday night. It's only for about 2 hours, and we will make it worth your time. So that is everywhere y'all can find us and hang out with us. So please, number one, motherfucker, it is back. It is so glad to have you back, my friend.
I'm happy to be back, man.
This is so much better than an 8-minute episode.
Talking about video games, my boy.
Hell yeah.
In there like swimwear, baby. Let's go.
All right, y'all. As always, please stay safe, wash your hands, mask up, do what you got to do to feel good, because I want everybody to feel good. And as always, y'all,
game the fuck on.
Game on, y'all. Be good.